What's up, all y'all YouTube? This your boy Joe Johnson 030. This your boy SEL 0320. Here we are, JVS.
Yes, we are.
Doing another review for the new series, Jessica Jones, Marvel's Jessica Jones. This is TV mature. So this show is only for mature audiences, you know what I'm saying? If you know, under the age of, I would say maybe 17, if even, I can't even recommend this to you. But I know you're gonna watch it anyway. Alright, so with no further ado, we're gonna get into this review, y'all. We're gonna talk about what's happening. Sam, we doing a spoiler? Is this a spoiler?
No, this is just a straight through simple review. All we're gonna be doing, y'all, is we're gonna do an back-to-back episode 2 and 3. As y'all know, in the description bar below, you actually be able to check out our review for episode 1, the pilot. It's got a spoiler review and a non-spoiler review. So the first 2 episodes that we're gonna look at is Crush Syndrome, and it's called Whiskey. We just finished those. Both of them actually really decent episodes, but we're just gonna go on a couple key points because we're gonna be going through each episode as fast as possible so we can get y'all the up-to-date reviews on what we thought about them, as well as give y'all a rating on it. The second episode, coming off of the first one, when you realize the gravity and the weight and the power of the Purple Man, or Kilgrave, with what he did to the girl, and the fact that she couldn't leave her bed, she ended up killing her parents in the elevator, and Jessica saw it, but you find out what kind of personality Jessica really is in going back and trying to help this girl. And then falling into this episode, like, the girl was institutionalized, like, criminally insane, and nobody wants to defend her because she killed her parents. And I thought that the whole dynamics of that, it's like, if I thought about that happening in real life, that would be insane. Like, I would never believe that this girl was controlled by somebody. Even with having, like, the Avengers, they've alluded to the Avengers being in this. I think Luke Cage made a statement in this episode where he was like, the green guy and his friends.
Yeah. The Avengers.
Essentially. And so, I mean, even with that, it's unbelievable. And Jessica is trying to do everything she can to try to find breadcrumbs throughout most of this episode. But I think it's the parts with Luke Cage that really get me in this episode, because Luke is pissed. He's pissed at her because something happened in the episode where basically he was implicated because she was involved with the shooting technically by helping the girl through the parents, and they found pictures of him and her in her apartment, right? But it was like, it was really interesting. There wasn't a lot that went down in this episode. It was more so like seeing things how they paced along. I think that also Kilgrave showed his first appearance in this one, right? Because he went to the family, and once he went to the family, he barged in and had the little girl pee on herself inside the door, and then just told everybody what to do, and you see the weight of his powers. And it's really scary. I don't know, like, as far as him being a villain, what do you think of him offhand right now as a villain?
As a villain?
Just based on these 2 episodes.
Pretty elusive villain, you know. Very, what's the word?
He's a sociopath.
Basically.
Because he relishes in not just getting what he wants, but he relishes in seeing people suffer. Just because. It's not because he's trying to do it because of assertion, but he's doing it because. And I mean, I think that's
got some control issues too.
Oh yeah,
like, to the nth degree.
Yeah, that's really true. Yeah. That's really true. But I don't know. What did you give this episode rating? The first one, the episode 2, Crush Syndrome.
I'll have to give it maybe a 9.
9 out of 10.
Yes.
Okay. I give it a 8 or 8.5 out of 10, only because I think I like the 3rd episode way more. Because basically, after they kind of have this bar fight at the end, right? Because these guys were basically ready to tune him up because Jessica took all these pictures of this woman who was basically cheating on her husband with Luke. Luke didn't know. And so the husband came in with his boys ready to tune Luke up. And, bruh, like, Luke didn't break a sweat, like, at all. Like, he was moving so, like, It was almost like he was a robot. It didn't even matter to him, basically. And I mean, I felt like Jessica was putting more work into him, but she realized the fact that one, he got literally stabbed in the neck with like a rusted glass, and then he went to her door and kind of showed her his powers. And the thing I loved about this episode is the dialogue. Like, Luke made some interesting dialogue in episode 3 that, like, it defined him as characters. Even them talking about their powers, their one-liners. I mean, he even said "Sweet Christmas." That was his one-liner. But the thing it deflates this episode is so much sex in it. It's constant sex in this episode, and it was distracting. It was distracting to me. I was like, I don't know. What did you think about, like, I guess Luke and Jessica, aside from their sexual encounters in this episode 3?
I mean, their relationship is weird, just because they have, I don't know, it's weird. It's not like your typical, it's not a typical what you expect, like, in a romance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you appreciate it because, like, they can relate on the same plane that they both have powers.
Yeah.
And because of that, you can kind of appreciate the relationship more. But
Yeah.
other than that, it's like, you guys don't really work.
I don't know. I beg to differ, actually.
I don't think so.
The reason why I say that is because aside from the whole sexual encounters, Jessica is mentally broken, right? But Luke is emotionally broken. Okay? He's sane, but he's emotionally cut off. It's like his thick skin is encompassed around his heart. But yet this girl, the way she interacts with him, even though like they do a lot of different things that's really messed up, he's not afraid to express who and what his thoughts are with her. Because even if you look at him in the bar, like when he interacts with people, they just kind of see one stretched side of him. Even when she was taking pictures, that's like he shows her different sides of himself, and those make up the remnants of either a great friendship or something more. Even like their dialogue. I was thinking of them even in bed, like it was like the way they were looking at each other, it was like they were already really married. Like it was really strange. I mean, it doesn't work fundamentally based on what their actions are, but I mean, to me, I feel like they kind of do, man. It's really strange. But
shipping.
Maybe. I don't represent the ratchetness, but I do. But
yeah.
As far as Trish in this episode, Trish tries to get Buck. You find out, I think in the second episode, that she had been training. She had all these bruises and stuff all over her body. And
I was wondering about that too, because like early on in the episode, I was like, why does she have bruises? And
yeah.
It's like, is she abused?
Yeah, because she had Jessica alluded to, like, is your mom back? So that led me to believe that there was some adult abuse stuff going on.
That's crazy how they did. She did say that.
That was a great nudge, though, because it plays more into her character. But I'm not going to say who Trish is going to be eventually, but she wants to support the case for this girl, and she decides to go on record over the air with Hogarth, because Hogarth is supposedly representing the girl. But Jessica doesn't want to allude herself to Kilgrave. And when Trish goes on air, like she kind of just like defends this girl and basically, puts herself as a target. What's one thing that Lucas said I wrote down as a quote? He said, being a hero just puts a target on your back. But he had said that about himself to Jessica. He was like, you can't fix me, I'm unbreakable. And that's the reason why I was like, that's not something in a dialogue with a person you would just tell somebody else. That's something that somebody's close to breaking a part of you. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as emotional barrier. But I mean, it was a lot of great quotes in episode 3 that I really liked. And even when the end with the police officer, I feel like this guy, man, his powers, they don't go away. I honestly don't feel like they go away because it's like remnants are still there. There was a guy that was the professor that basically took somebody's organ out in the second episode just to be able to take care of Kilgrave.
That was jacked up.
And then the girl, Jessica, went to the guy that was messed up, and she was basically, like, the mom had said, like, you know, guy's done this, guy's done that, and Jessica's like, what if the devil didn't make somebody do something? Like, could you ever forgive yourself for doing it? You know, that was kind of the dialogue in that one, but she basically said to the guy, like, I know God didn't do this, the devil did it. And those two parallel lined up with both episodes, because more that this is going on, I feel like Jessica's losing herself. It's like she's moving on, but she's still losing herself. And I don't know where it's going to go into the next episode, but I actually like this one a lot more. I think I give this one a 10, me personally. But anything you could think of more about this episode? Or in your rating too?
Yeah, dude, when like she uncovers like, well, let's just say Kilgrave, you know what I'm saying? He hasn't just been oblivious to Jessica's endeavors and what she's like been up to with this episode, because like this one you kind of get like some insight of what Kilgrave's been doing, or what his habits or his habits, like while he's like still in the town, but he's still keeping his distance. Well, he has been keeping his distance away from Jessica.
Yeah.
So it's very striking.
Yeah, it reminds me of a kid that is just got this plaything, and like the mom takes it away from him, and he's just obsessing on when the time he gets that back. Like he knows in his head he's gonna break the rules to get it back. But it's like that's what he sees Jessica as. It's not like just a person that you care about. Like it's like he sees her as like a plaything.
Yeah.
He's obsessed, and he feels as though that's his property. That's the embodiments of these actions that he's doing, and it's psychologically and fundamentally like, it's disturbing. So I don't know. I'm not gonna go too deep into it. We're gonna get ready to go look at the next episode. We want to go ahead and get y'all this quick, and hopefully y'all enjoyed our reviews. But what do you give it for a rating for episode 3? From 1 to 10.
I give it a 9.
Give it a 9 too. So it's good track record. 9 and a 9, 8.5 and a 10. Hopefully y'all enjoyed our review for episode 2 and 3 of Jessica Jones. We'll be back for episode 3 and 4, possibly tomorrow, if not tonight. Deuces, y'all. And they were like some jackrabbits, man.